A massive shout out to today's video sponsor, Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business.
Go and try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up, got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that be poking out them jeans up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame, heard you barking up. This the wrong tree, I got the strings, yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained, now they walking up. Trying to put the face to the name. I pull up and I'm flex mode with the best, though.
Right, so behind me here is this wonderful lineup of BMW M cars. Is the 8 Series an M car? It's not an M car, but it was kind of the M car of its time. And one of them is new in my life, right? And it's a car that none of you have ever seen before. Well, you've probably seen one before, but not my one. And it's just arrived. And those that are familiar with my channel will know exactly which one of the pack it is. Yeah, that one just in the centre there. But anyway, yeah. What I'm going to do is we're going to take you for a wander around all of these wonderful cars, and then after that I'm going to show you the car that I bought, alright? So let's flip the camera around and get on it. Right, before we get on with this video, a quick reminder of today's video sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to build a professional website, online e-commerce store or portfolio. So if you've got an idea or a business that you want to get online, Squarespace has got all the tools you need from start to finish to get that business up and running. It's as simple as you just pick a domain, pick a template, and then you can start creating your website. And then once your website's all set up, Squarespace also offer the option to do email marketing campaigns, and they also give you the option to customize your website even further with their third-party extensions. Hold on, the price, that's one thing I haven't talked about. It's mega cheap. Prices start from as little as £10 a month. So if you are a person with a business or an idea that you want to get online, head over to squarespace.com/Calvin's Car Diary and make sure you use my promo code Calvin's Car Diary to get 10% off your order and begin creating that idea and making it happen. Thanks for watching, let's get on with the video. Look at them all just lined up, they look amazing, don't they? They're all like a very good contrasting colour as well, I think. So we've got the Long Beach Blue BMW M2, that is my latest project car. We're going to go to stage 3 on that car. So currently it is it's stock form 380 bhp, which shouldn't be as much as that, but it is. And brand new Michelin PS4S tyres, by the way. And yeah, love that car. Next to it is my M3 CS. We'll talk about that in a sec. Moving on, we'll save that for last, all right? Don't worry, that is going to be the core of this video, that wonderful specimen of a car there. Next to it is my arsehole. It's not really my arsehole, it's my car, my BMW M6 in signal green. Like literally, when I say it is, let's lift that up, signal green, it is literally painted inside and out in signal green. And as far as we know, I'm sure there is another one somewhere in the world, but as far as we know, that is the only one that exists. So moving on, BMW X6M, it's a bit of a daily driver, lovely thing. Loads of M Performance carbon bits here, there and everywhere, and it's got the sport seats as well. That is also in Long Beach Blue, which is the exact same colour as the M2. And then over here we've got the BMW 850i. The 850 was a V12 engine, and this car is finished in, I can't remember the actual name of the colour, black, a shade of black, which is almost like a graphite black with light grey interior. And this car is absolutely stunning, as you can see. Automatic gearbox, sunroof, which I love. And if we go for a little wander around here, it has done 80,000 miles. Really nice example of that. So we'll wander back over to the M3. No, do you know what? Before we wander back over to the M3, what we'll do is we'll switch them all off. I've got them running because I wanted to get them warmed up and just show you a little sound check on all of them. So this is what the M2 sounds like. You ready? We'll switch that one off now. Sounds bloody amazing, that car. Save that one till last, skip past that. By the way, they're all in like number order, M2, M3, M6, X6M 8 series. All right, I could do with a an M4 and an M5 in the middle somewhere, so that will happen at some stage, I'm sure. Close that, because that bleeping noise. This is what my M6 sounds like. 750 brake horsepower with an Armatrix exhaust. Yeah, that's a savage car, man. So we'll switch that off. Need some switch off. Get that off. Moving on. Have a little listen to this beast. Same engine as the M6, but this has not been tuned, so it's about 570 bhp, I think. Jump on in here. Beast this car is. Sounds a lot calmer, doesn't it? Yeah, very calm. We'll switch that off now as well, because having all these cars running, I think every single one's got its fuel light on as well, funny enough, but having them all running is probably costing a small fortune as every minute goes by. So jump in this one now, have a little listen to this V12 sexy little beast. Ready? Look at that interior, man, look at this. Just turn that gangster radio down. Monster, absolute monster. So we'll switch that off and then we'll head over to the the last of the lot, the iconic E46 M3 CS. Now this car is finished in Interlagos blue, which was only available on the CS model. It's a 55 plate car, and yeah, look at them wheels, man, look at them wheels. But let's have a little listen to the sound whilst it's running. I did put the lights on just whilst we were filming, because I just wanted to leave the lights on. It gives it a bit more of a glamorous look, doesn't it? Turn that down. This LCD, by the way, has been replaced, and I did mention earlier that this is a high mileage car. Look, it is 142,000 miles, so it ain't terrible for the car. But you know what, I've got an M3 CS in my life, so if that's the way I've got to do it, then so be it. So let's have a little listen. That has got to be like one of the best sounds. It's a bit debatable, I get that. Some people dislike that raspy sort of waspy sound, but I love the sound of E46 M3s. And what I'll do, I think, is I'll move it forward a little touch. Move it forward a little touch, guys. Those that got a good eye or spot things will notice that I've got a sunroof as well. Massive spec this car is. It's got sunroofs, it's got heated seats. It's an SMG, which they did come as manuals, but I suppose at the time, back in 2005, 2006, when these cars came out, the SMG was like the new thing, and I think everyone just spec their CSs with an SMG, which I actually really like. Again, a lot of people give them stick. They do have their issues. Not that I've had any issues with them ever in my life, I don't think. That's probably a lie, actually. But yeah, I've never had no horror stories, but I know lots of people that have. So I pulled it out because I wanted to take you for a little wander around it, to show you this beautiful beast. As we wander around it, bear in mind this car's done 140 odd thousand miles, right? And it just does not show at all. The headlight lenses look like they've been replaced. The indicators again look like they've been replaced. The front bumper, the front wings, the whole front end in fact has been painted. There is no stone chips on that front end whatsoever. The number plate holder has been removed. A lot of E46 M3 owners do that. Personally, I like it better with it on, but I get that it's a cleaner look with it without it as such. So as we move round, Michelin tyres, Pilot Super Sports on them M3 CSL style wheels in 235 35 19s on the front, and then on the rear we've got these chunky PS4 S's, 265 30 19s on the rear. What a nice set of wheels they are. As I sort of knelt down there, a lot of you probably would have noticed this here, that if you own a BMW of this age, if your car doesn't have that, it will either have it very soon or it's had it and it's been painted. This car hasn't had that repaired. I'll probably get that repaired because that's the only thing that lets the visuals of this car down. So as we come around the back, we've got a carbon fibre diffuser around the exhaust. Love that. That is like a nice clean finish. And in fact, It's just, the car is just immaculate. It is absolutely immaculate. So it comes from one of my followers. Shout out to Rob on Instagram. He commented on one of my posts the other day and he's like, Calv, I'm selling an M3 CS. Are you interested? I was like, mate, I need to buy that car. I'll talk more about that scenario in a second as we go out for a drive, right? The steering wheel's been retrimmed, so that's absolutely stunning. That is bleeping to tell me that we're in neutral. Let me just quickly sort that out. And as you will notice as well, the CSs have got the CSL steering wheel, right? So it's got no motor functions, so it's a bit of a bare look, but it's all part of the parcel to owning a CS. So what we'll do is we'll get a camera mount up in the window and we'll just literally hit the road, all right? That's it. Sorted, seatbelt on, and put it into gear cow by clicking this to the right, and then we'll put that up. We've got aircon. We've actually got aircon. How cool is this? We've got Harman Kardon as an option. We've got a sport button down here as well. We'll press that on. Doesn't do much in an E46 M3, but it does help, doesn't it? Adds to the overall driving feeling. So this car, like, it's such a nice example. Like, genuinely, you would not believe that it's done 100. It's actually done 142,000 miles. You wouldn't think that. It's had so many little bits replaced on the interior and on the outside that it just gives the finish of the car a real nice look. So we've got, obviously, the steering wheel's been retrimmed. The centre of the steering wheel here as well, that's been replaced. The side grills and the wings, they've been replaced. They're a lot of money from BMW as well. I've bought them a few times. I mentioned obviously the LCD display had been replaced. Savam Bailey Transport does all our recoveries for us. Absolute legend of a guy. And on that note, actually, we're in sports mode. What mode are we in? Let's put it in the calm automatic mode. A big shout out also to Ashley, right, from ARB Recovery. So let's talk about the story of how this car come about, right? I saw a comment on my Instagram saying, Calvin, I want to sell my M3 CS. Like, what a comment for me to see. This is a car that I've never had before. It's definitely one that's been on my bucket list forever. Let's get that lock, roof open. Yeah, we'll get that open, I think. We'll go the whole way and see what the wind's like. Yeah, and I messaged the guy. I was like, yes, I want to buy that car, 100%. He said, well, I've had loads of people interested. Lots of people messed me around. So, like, how could you mess someone around with a car like this? So I was like, yeah, definitely. I'll come pick up tomorrow. Whereabouts are you? And he's like, I'm in Manchester, and I'm down in Luton, right? Luton to Manchester, hell of a journey. It was the following day was a Friday. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this happen. So at 10 o'clock at night, I rang Ashley from ARB Recovery. He's done a lot of the recoveries for all of the giveaway cars on Planet of Dreams. Sit down, mate. He's just offering his services just because he's a helpful guy, right? He's offering his services, and I just thought, I'm going to ask Ashley, because he's the type of guy that at the drop of a hat, he might be able to just go and do it. I rang him up and he's like, but Ashley, I've got a car that needs picking up from Manchester tomorrow morning, can you do it? Ashley said, Cal, I'm dropping the car to Manchester tomorrow morning and I've got no way of getting back, so that's perfect. So Ashley got up the next morning, went there for me, collected the car. It comes from my follower Rob, and generally when I buy cars with followers, it's very straightforward. There's a bit of a relationship there already and a bit of trust there. So yeah, he bought the car. He talked about it like it was stunning. It arrived and it was, is that another BMW? No, it's an old 3 Series convertible M Sport. But yeah, it arrived and it's an absolutely stunning example. But shout out to Ashley ARB Recovery. I dropped into the station that day. Here's a photo of us in the car together. And also shout out to Rob for selling me this wonderful, wonderful example of an M3 CS. So I did get offered one before. Let's click the gearbox in sports mode. I did get offered one about a year ago, and I kind of was a bit hesitant on it. It was the right money, but it was silver. And I remember looking at that car thinking, I want to buy it, but if I buy one of these CSs, I just want to get one in Interlagos blue, because that makes it stand out. That makes it look like a CS, right? And I passed on it, quite simply. But as I passed on it, I thought I should have bought that car, man. But the wait was worth it. So obviously, SMG gearboxes they're very, I said earlier, controversial. A lot of people have an opinion on them. They I think the bottom line is, how do they function? Do they work well? And the answer to that is yes, they do as they're told, and they are a bit slow, but that is the nature of a single clutch gearbox. But you've got the option to shift it on the paddles up here when you want to have a little tear up, and then you've also got the option to shift it on the shifter down here, which is strangely natural. I talk about that a lot when you want to chill out and just drive sensibly, which ain't going to happen too often when you're in an M3. Under the bonnet we've got an S54 naturally aspirated straight 6 engine. Obviously it's an M engine, 343 bhp, the same engine come in the CS as it did in the normal E46 M3s. And then above the CS you've obviously got the CSL, which is a car that I've never had, and I hope to God that one day I get one in my life. But this is like the model below the CSL, but strangely the CSL was only available I think in 2002, 2003, so this is, being a CS, this is the end of line car. They literally threw everything at them, made them available in Interlagos blue, and as you can imagine, they've done very well from them. So it's an end of line car, which makes it a late reg. Like I said, I think this is a 55 plate car, and it just made it nice. An M3 that ticked every single box at that period of time. So yeah, I wanted to introduce you to the car. The way, looking at the golf club open as usual, I don't know what's going down here. I've got a feeling I've just ignored loads of road signs, and we might have a road closure down here, but it is great how well these cars drive. They're probably my favourite car ever made. They literally offer everything. They're good looking, superbly good looking. They look unbelievably good. From every angle these cars look so good. The rear end, the front end, every corner, the front lights, the rear lights, everything about this car is just so attractive. The sound is amazing, yet the road's closed. The road is closed. Calvin just ignored every sign the whole way down, but do you know what? It was worth it, wasn't it? And what was I saying? I think if I was to criticise the E46 M3, let's get in front of you first, mate. Don't want you going in front of me because I'll be stuck behind you with your little red Hyundai. If I was to criticise it, I would basically just add a turbo to them. Being naturally aspirated, there is no room for manoeuvre, room for potential, and I think they need it. And also, it would have been nice if they made an estate version, so that's pretty much why I'm building an E46 M3 Touring with a turbo under the bonnet. So we're going to fully forge the engine and stick a turbo on it. So if you're new to my channel, definitely hit subscribe for that. That's at a nice place in its life at the minute. I've got a video coming on that very soon, and I think I'm going to end it here. One other point I want to add is the CSs were made available with a manual gearbox option, whereas the CSLs weren't. And I think CSLs would probably be that bit more special if they were available as a manual. So yeah, but do you know what, me as a guy that likes them SMG gearboxes, I don't really care about that. I just think for residuals it would have made CSLs probably the most special BMW M car ever made had they put a manual gearbox in it. So anyway, I'm going to leave it as that. It's been a hell of a video. All them cars lined up earlier looked amazing. So yeah, it's been quite a nice day. Squeeze a lot in. Thanks very much for watching. Hit like if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you're new to my channel. Give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's Car Diary. I also want to say thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the new Planet of Dreams membership plan. £2.99 a month. It's not compulsory. Everything's free on that website, but it's just a way of you supporting, and in return you get entry to every single competition on that website automatically by paying £2.99 a month. So you don't even have to visit the website anymore, because we'll do it all for you. Alright, so yeah, thanks to everyone who's already done that, and I will get a competition live on Planet of Dreams right now, so hit the link in the description below to check that out. Sorry, I forgot to mention something. As I was putting up before, I know I didn't talk about the values of these cars. Now, they are slightly more valuable than a usual, like a normal E46 M3, right? But they're not loads more valuable than an E46 M3. And I think that if that doesn't change, it deserves to change, because I do believe that these are loads more special than a normal car. And the CSLs are obviously crazy money. So if you looked at an M3 with this mileage right now, with an SMG gearbox on like a facelift reg, say an 04, it's probably worth about 10 grand, right? This car here is worth about 16 grand, so it's quite a bit more, sort of 60% more. A CSL with that mileage and so on, that would be worth in the region of high mileage CSL, probably about £30,000, which is double what a CS is worth, which I think that gap should be smaller. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm going to end it here. In front of me, I've got that wonderful lineup of cars. Back to work now. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, you're not going to laugh. Basically, I've bought a BMW M5.